Good morning and welcome to today's reflection. Today's reading is Matthew 8 verses 5 to 13. When Jesus entered Capernaum, a Roman officer met him and begged him for help. "Sir, my servant is sick in bed at home, unable to move and suffering terribly." "I will go and make him well," Jesus said. "Oh no, sir," answered the officer. "I do not deserve to have you come into my house. Just give the order and my servant will get well. I am too a man under the authority of superior officers, and I have soldiers under me. I order this one, 'Go,' and he goes, and I order that one, 'Come,' and he comes, and I order my slave, 'Do this,' and he does it." When Jesus heard this, he was surprised and said to the people following him, "I tell you, I have never found anyone in Israel with faith like this. I assure you that many will come from the east and the west and sit down with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob at the feast in the kingdom of heaven. But those who should not be in the kingdom will be thrown out into the darkness, where they will cry and grind their teeth." Then Jesus said to the officer, "Go home, and what you believe will be done for you." And the officer's servant was healed that very moment. This is the word of the Lord. So large crowds at this time were following Jesus. As he preached and as he healed, crowds were amazed at the way he taught. As Jesus entered Capernaum, a Roman officer met him and begged him for help. This officer was a Gentile. He was the leader of many soldiers. He was there to ensure power over the Jews. So of course, they were the enemy. The Jews probably assumed that Jesus would not even heal the Roman soldier's servant. This officer had heard of the miraculous things that Jesus had done and wanted to find him. He didn't want to ask for anything for himself, but for his servant who was suffering terrible. The soldier was showing compassion and love for his servant. He did not want him to suffer any more. He must have been in such pain that the soldier was unable to move him to Jesus. But Jesus responded immediately. He says, "I will go and make him well." Without any hesitation, Jesus would stop what he was doing to go to the soldier's house. This powerful Roman officer then said to Jesus, "I do not deserve to have you come into my house." What a statement that he made, a Gentile to a Jewish rabbi. What such powerful words that he had such trust and faith in Jesus. The Roman officer then said to Jesus, "Just give the order and my servant will get well." This soldier had so much faith and trust in God. He believed that his servant would be healed. Even though Jesus hadn't seen him, Jesus didn't know his name and didn't know what was wrong with him. He trusted and believed in Jesus. The Roman officer had many soldiers under him, the soldiers that had to listen to him and follow his words, all his orders that were given. But Jesus' words had authority to heal. Jesus was amazed and surprised with the officer's faith and trust. This enemy of the Jews showed such compassion and love and faith in Jesus. Jesus called for his disciples to be like this officer. I can imagine it must have been really hard to take in what Jesus said to the Jewish followers. Gentiles have this kind of faith, they will be in the kingdom of heaven. But those who lack faith will be thrown out into the darkness. Jews really don't have a right to expect any authority in the kingdom of heaven. Jesus said to the officer, "Go home and what you believe will be done for you." And the servant was healed. Amen. And now for a short prayer. Dear Lord, help us to be more like the Roman officer who had so much faith and trust in you. Lord, increase our faith as we walk in our lives with you every day. Amen.